Recently, he tried his best to cater to a nationwide activity. He will invite car owners from different regions across the country or the media to conduct a battery life test on this Galaxy 18. Finally, his achievement rate is really a very, very surprising data, many of which exceed 95% and even exceed 100% of the reverse false standard. But many people will ask, isn't it a matter of course if you do the achievement rate test of this battery life in summer? He is born to perform better, but it's not. Batteries are suitable for melodramatic products so far, which is too cold or too hot. Plus, in summer, if you turn on the air conditioner, the achievement rate of battery life will be negatively affected. What about before? We got a follow-up version and tried our best to cater to 18th to do a power test with an extreme battery life. In the end, the achievement rate exceeded 88%. This data is really very, very gratifying. This time we got the 14G version of the incentive cover. 18th also plans to do an all-round data test. At the same time, there is a Tesla Model 3 around us, which is recognized as excellent in the industry, whether in terms of sales volume or the technology of the 3 stores, right? 2 cars. Put it together, then let's go head-to-head and see how their respective data perform.
This time, we will compare 4 subjects. Which one will charge faster, the Galaxy Tail on the 1800th platform or the Model 3 under Tesla V3 overcharge? Second, if you run 100 kilometers on a highway, the speed will be increased to more than 100 kilometers per hour. Under the most troublesome working conditions for electric vehicles, take a look at the performance of their respective energy consumption and battery life achievement rate. The third fun highway is running in the city. What is the performance of stop-and-go energy consumption and battery life achievement rate for 50 kilometers? When you open the door on the 4th occasion, the 2 cars are presented with different designs. They are minimalist and innovative. Which one do you like? The maximum charging power supported by the Tesla Model 3 4-wheel drive long-range model is 250 kilowatts. So we found the Tesla V3 supercharging pile that can best exert its charging limit.
Supplement?
At first, the charging power climbed quickly, reaching about 190 kilowatts in the blink of an eye, but when it reached close to 30%, the power dropped seriously, and when it reached 50%, the power was only more than 80 kilowatts left. Finally, from 30% to 80%, the charging time is 29 minutes. The Galaxy 184 wheel drive model is under the 800 frame architecture. It supports the maximum charging power of 360 kilowatts, and there are not many charging piles exceeding 300 kilowatts in Beijing, but we still found the most suitable jike. Supercharging piles are carried out and it takes about 1 minute to start charging at 5:03. Time, the power climbed and then stabilized at around 190 kilowatts. The maximum charging power in the city reached 197.33
kilowatts.
When charging to 74%, the power begins to drop to 160 kilowatts and gradually decreases by 5.2. It takes 15 minutes to charge to 80%, from 30% to 80% in total. The entire process from charging to Galaxy 18 in 14 minutes is more stable, compared with the power decline of Tesla Model 3.
Obviously, indeed.
At present, Tesla still has an advantage in the number of charging piles, but it has tried its best to cater to the 18th and entered the immediate charging station. It is currently among the top 3 pure electric brands in China in terms of self-built charging piles, with 800 self-built supercharging piles, first ensuring the convenience of charging to a great extent. The 2 cars run at the same high speed of 100 kilometers per hour, and the average speed remains above 100 kilometers per hour. They also ride in the 2-person power mode with comfortable energy recovery. The minimum air conditioning is 22 degrees and the 2-speed wind tire pressure is 2.8. Under the condition that all conditions are fair, the 2 cars, the inheritance of the car is finally released. The Tesla Model 3 meter shows a power consumption of 15.1 kilowatt hours of electricity, and the battery life achievement rate per 100 kilometers is 67%, while the Galaxy shows an average power consumption of 14 kilowatt hours of electricity for 800 kilometers, and the battery life achievement rate reaches 72%. Then under the same test conditions, 2 cars ran. For the same distance of 50 kilometers, the average speed does not exceed 30 kilometers per hour. In the end, the Tesla Model 3 store number had 14.7 kilowatt hours of electricity with a battery life achievement rate of 65.7% per 100 kilometers, while the Galaxy Tail performed 12.7 kilowatt hours of electricity per 100 kilometers with a battery life achievement rate of 83.3%. Through the data, it can be found that the achievement rate of Model 3 is relatively close in both urban areas and high-speed areas, while the achievement rate of Galaxy Tail in urban areas exceeds 80%, which is a good performance.
If the previous part is very hard and the nuclear data is very intuitive, then this part may be a little more subjective. I know that many people like Tesla's minimalist interior design style and even say that even the gear shifting is integrated into the screen, but there are still some brands that spare no effort to design an ad. Trying to cater to the 18th is a typical representative of being leveled by blocks. It is really very, very eye-catching, and even using the new film of $82.95 to make a base, and even playing games. If these are the icing on the cake, take a step back and think that today, when voice interaction is so developed, you and 18 have done it, so it can be said that it is no problem. You have to cater to open settings.
Yeah.
Voice. Ensure driving control.
Middle.
Copy that.
However, the Model 3 still stays in the button wake-up and conventional voice interaction.
Quick control to open.
Charge. Charge.
Navigating to a supercharger station.
To be honest, it's a bit unsatisfactory. Of course, more subjectively speaking, I prefer the Attendant of Galaxy 18, but objectively speaking, the Shield with an ignorant design style can resonate with everyone, if you look carefully at the workmanship materials and cater to the general richness and delicacy. In any case, the sales dominance of Model 3 is also obtained by the mechanical qualities such as the brand's chassis, 3 electricity, etc. But from this comparison, the real figures are also declaring that 0 and 18 will not admit defeat.